Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we have a special Cowboys rebuild here. As you guys can see, Brandon Cooks and also not there, Stephon Gilmore. So we have these new two great additions, but unfortunately the way that Madden works, couldn't retain like all the rest of the free agents that they actually retained. So let me go ahead and actually cut Zeke real quick. We'll just take that penalty on right on away. Wait. You will free whatever and incur a penalty. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's lose like -7 million. Let's do it. Yeah. Headed into the draft here, we'll have to look for a guard for sure. And then defensively, linebackers a huge need right now. Wasn't able to bring back Donovan Wilson due to, like I said, like how Madden works. And also do not have Anthony Brown anymore. So Kendall, Sheffield, Bland, Lewis, Gilmore, Diggs, and then we'll probably look for interior here with is this Neville Gilmore? Yeah, so Neville Gilmore probably isn't going to be my guy in the interior. I know, crazy, right? But hear me out. We're going to have to probably find interior. Sam Williams and Dorrance Armstrong are good. Lawrence is a bit old. Jabril Cox probably just won't do it for me in that inside linebacker spot. So I don't know. Everything to me right now is just up in the air, headed into the draft. We'll see what we can do using the realistic draft class, and we'll see how it all goes. But I wouldn't really expect the world considering we're picking at 27. I'm not even consider trading up. It's just not even a thing in my head right now is to trade up. So we'll look for who's available at this spot. Jackson Smith and Jigba could possibly be a pick that, obviously is considered here. I would also like to consider Steve Avila at this pick as well with outside versatility. Where are we looking at for the next best linebacker? Probably be Drew Sanders, right? And Drew Sanders is a pretty good player. So it's probably between JSN and Drew Sanders right now for me. Darnell Washington's quite interesting as well. Darnell Wright is quite fun, but not the player I want. Yeah, I think it'd be more towards the top, and I think that it will be Drew Sanders coming off the board, nice and early. Yeah, he can do a lot. He's a very versatile player, athletic. He can come off the edge. He can play in the middle. He can basically do whatever it is that he wants to do. And unfortunately, the strength of this class is corner, and we just don't need corner. So, little unfortunate if you ask me. Keanu Benton and Mozzie Smith are right there. Noah Sewell, but probably look to solidify that interior player. Whether or not that's Keanu Benton, I don't know if it is Keanu here. Ran well, B block shedding, B awareness, C finesse moves. He's good, but he's not great. I want to see if anybody else is there at that defensive tackle spot before I jump conclusions here. Doesn't look like it. Keanu Benton will be my pick. Wisconsin interior player. Pretty tremendous athlete, I guess. So that's our pick there. And we'll go Jarrett Patterson for our final pick. It's not exciting or anything like that. We just need someone on the interior of that offensive line to do something for us. And we traded all of our picks for veterans. That'll be the draft. We'll head into draft recap. Patterson was a 71 overall. Keanu Benton, the same thing. Drew Sanders was a 74 back end of that first round. So good talent here with Drew Sanders. Pretty versatile player, like I mentioned. He'll probably play. I guess we can slide him to where Damone Clark is playing. And then we can, slide Damone Clark on the inside because that's basically his role. He doesn't have any reason to be on that outside spot, but we'll set up the team, make sure the depth chart's all dialed in, and then we'll head to mid-season. I'll let you guys know. We start off pretty good. It's not great or anything like that. 4-3 can still go both ways, but I will go ahead and actually take a look-see here at the stats and awards. Dak Prescott starting off the season pretty good, probably a little bit more interceptions than you'd like. Pollard is very solid. And here in receiving, Brandon Cooks leading the team, as he should. CeeDee Lamb right behind him. Michael Gallup here as well. Jake Ferguson producing, and Tony Pollard here as well. I really have high hopes for Jake Ferguson, so let's hope he can kind of develop here in that starting tight end role. Wisconsin tight end came out last year in the draft. It would be 2 years ago in this simulation thing, but in real life came out last year in the draft and really impressed me. One of my favorites. Yeah, we have probably the best slash worst free agent class in the NFL. We'll start with CeeDee Lamb. We definitely want him back here for sure. We'll go 13, 9, huge contract. And that's 20 million already gone. Trayvon Diggs, next best guy. You want him incredibly long term. I'm not considering shorter deals. All right, I'll make sure not to give you half a decade deal next time then. Tony Pollard, I definitely want back. We had to franchise tag him. Offer is good. He'll be back as well. Stephon Gilmore, considering this rebuild's kind of just around, the addition of him and Brandon Cooks. Offer's perfect. He cannot wait for next year. I think we're fine giving up. I'd rather keep Malik Hooker over Jerron Kearse there. I'm fine with a 3-year deal. Give him 3.5 and 3.5 there. Looks good. Justice Hill I picked up. Jordan Lewis, no interest. Tyron Smith is a little interesting here. He's just worth way too much money. Way too much. I just can't pay that. I do not feel like paying that. There is a breakout defensive lineman. I have to upgrade some players, but yeah, I guess you guys don't need to see any more of this stuff. Osa Odigizua has gotten star development now. That is actually awesome. Happy for that breakout defensive line challenge. And Dak Prescott also had a breakout challenge here as well. I simulated just 1 week here so we could see or re-deal some of these contracts. And Dak Prescott did not meet his requirements. Unfortunate for sure. We're going to go ahead and try to get that deal done with Trayvon Diggs because that is the only one I want. 7 years. He's on the team. He's good to stay. Don't need to spend any more money. Wow, we missed the playoffs going 9-8. The Commanders went 12-5. That is quite insane. Dak Prescott, 4,400, close to 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. It's an all right season. Tony Pollard over here at 1,000 yards is good. Dak Prescott was pretty good. Hill in a backup role was, great, actually. Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb on 1,000, a century mark on the dot. 8 touchdowns, tied with the top here. And Michael Gallup also 8 touchdowns. Ferguson was fine. I don't know if I want to change playbooks, but I want him more involved. Brandon Cooks, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, like we had mentioned. Defensively, Damone Clark ate it up on the inside. 127 tackles, 12 tackles for loss. DeMarcus Lawrence and Osa Odigizua from the interior got 10 sacks. Pretty insane. Michael Parsons, I was expecting a little bit more. Trayvon Diggs, 3 interceptions. Kearse, 2. Lewis, 2. Parsons, 1. Damone Clark, 1 for Drew Sanders, who had an okay year. Nothing special. He's playing that sub linebacker spot, but we'll have to see what really happens with him and his kind of development, but we'll get this offseason kicked off. Now, here's a tricky one. Do I want Dorrance Armstrong? Probably not, because I have Sam Williams. He's 27. I don't know. Probably not. I think I'll just pass on him and head into free agency. I'll let you guys know I'll let you guys know what sort of class we come out with. And we have no money. So Deontay Foreman, Jeff Okudah, and Jedrick Wills will be our go-tos. We're going to try to get him. We got Deontay Foreman first time around. Jeff Okudah and Jed Wills are still up in the air. One more time. And we get both of them, Jeff Okudah and Jed Wills. Both will be Cowgirls. And Deontay Foreman will come and be a power back sitting behind Tony Pollard. Also, there were some pretty tempting things in this class. We just no money. Jared Patterson, that we drafted at left or at center, moved to left guard, is doing pretty good. Jed Wills over here. Zach Martin's probably getting a little older. Not probably. He is getting a lot older. Ferguson's doing fine. Cooks is okay. What do we need? What do we need? Guard and center, of course. Oh, Drew Sanders is a superstar. Let's go. And we're going to need a strong safety. We're probably going to need some sort of edge when Lawrence is gone. Osa Odigizua now for me is a good player. Keanu Benton, if he can continue to develop, could also be good next to Osa on the interior, but we'll just see what kind of presents itself. I think we're kind of in a best player available situation. We pick at number 17, but I'm going to check and see if there's any talent at the top end of the board. But I'll let you guys know right here. This guy right here, actually, already. I mean, look at that. That is crazy. Crazy athlete as well. Oh, I really like this guy. I'm not going to trade up for it, even though I definitely could with like a DeMarcus Lawrence trade. There's another tackle there. Yeah, that might actually be our go-to. I mean, I'm not seeing too many good players down the board other than, that guy. Okay, so this actually just went through. Not sure how, but DeMarcus Lawrence is no longer a Cowgirl. And we're going to draft a position that we don't really need, but could use an upgrade on. DeAndre, this is the worst ever way I've ever spelled DeAndre, the worst way I've ever seen DeAndre spelled. DeAndre Garrison, 21 years of age too. This guy's insane. Yeah. Really, really happy with that pick for sure. Hopefully he can develop into one hell of a player. Dominic Farrell, round 1 to 2, talent. Looks good. Wait, what is his archetype? He's a playmaker. He looks good. He's definitely in the back of my head right now, for sure. I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on anybody else here. Maybe a strong safety. Probably have to like trade for one of those. Yeah, I think that'll be the pick at the top there. Or we can trade this pick for a strong safety, which is definitely in play here. I'm going to go ahead and actually look at Mitch McMichael. Mitch McMichael, Hall of Fame name. Elite strength is interesting. Yeah, it doesn't look better than Farrell. So, Dominic Farrell. Yeah, welcome to the Cowgirls. 6'4", 231, 22 years of age, out of Tennessee. It's not quite Cedric Tillman, but close. Oh my god. What is this? An absolute... okay. Yeah, never mind. I'm not trading away this pick. Give me Matt Watkins. Holy crap. Guy was an athlete and a half at center. But also, that's not all. I mean, that was amazing. That looked like a really good center for like where we're picking. Maybe like a 72 overall or so. He can replace Biotish at one point. But let's go ahead and try to trade for a safety before I even look at the board, I guess. Done deal. Michael Gallup on the next 2 picks that we have in this draft. For Talanoa Hufanga, player I really like out of USC, I believe. So, yeah, Troy Polamalu V2. Draft recap. 81 overall, DeAndre Garrison. And then 75, Dominic Farrell. And then, yeah, Matt Watkins, 71 overall. And Alex Hemsley, who we got in the 7th, is a 70 overall. Really, really good draft for, like, where we picked. I'm very happy with this, for sure. Just got to go see what the rest of the draft looked like. I'm sure we got the best player in the draft by a long shot. Oh my god. And then we also got the, top 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of the top 5 players in the draft. Let's freaking go. We're actually going to try Drew Sanders off the edge for a season, play these 2 on the inside, Michael Parsons on the other side, Damone Clark, and we could play Jabril Cox in the middle. Sam Williams just not quite there. I want to see what Drew Sanders can do in the inside. I'm sorry, but it's just, I want it to happen so bad. Let it happen. And then defensively, like I said, we got Hufanga. Hooker, we could definitely improve upon. And then at right end here, Sam Williams. And then I guess Golston can play. Gilmore, we still have Bland. Remember the Okuda signing. Offensively, we look good. Watkins will sit for a year behind Biedaz, who I actually just re-signed on a pretty lengthy deal, like $7 million a year as well. So not a cap casualty quite there, but it's a pretty big deal for someone that we're going to replace in a year or two. And Fergie playing here at tight end for sure. Brandon Cooks looks pretty good. Farrell and CeeDee Lamb. So this rebuild will probably only go on as long as Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks are alive. Like, they're not 75 overall bums on the team. They're both kind of in the regression or age of regression area. So we'll see how that kind of ages. But, yeah, I guess let's go to the midseason point, see how we're doing. Not a great start, but that's not necessarily a bad thing in Madden. Normally, Madden works in funny ways, so I look at a bad start and say it might actually be a good one. But go ahead and upgrade all of those great players there, and we'll go ahead and look at stats and awards. Dak Prescott, once again, not anything special, but he's keeping the interceptions to a low. Tony Pollard is fine. Probably want him to be a little better, a little bit more active and involved. Brandon Cooks doing just fine. Jake Ferguson finally popping off and having a good season. CD Lamb getting some volume, and so is Dominic Farrell. Just 1 yard behind CD Lamb and has 4 touchdowns, which is twice as many as CD Lamb has. Really good stuff there. Defensively, Damone Clark is getting some tackles. Behind him is Rio whatever. Osa Odigizua from the interior. Micah Parsons 5. Talanoa Fungas has 3 TFLs. Drew Sanders, is he working off the edge? Not quite sure, but Garrison leads the team in sacks with 4 from the interior. Osa Odigizua right there as well. Micah and Drew. So I'm a little bit curious as to what's going on. Okay, really bad news, but really good news. We have $160 million, but Michael Parsons has no interest in being here. Oh, bud, we're going to have to, we're going to have to pay this man. This lad is going to get paid, and rightfully so. Okay, that's all it took. Easy. God, it's so much money. Zach Martin, I don't want back. Oh, our quarterback needs a deal. This is why we have so much money. Do we even want Dak Prescott as our future QB? 31 years of age, superstar X Factor, 89 overall. What do we want? What do we want here? Do we want to move on? I say no, just because we're in the midst of a win now kind of window thing. He's got interest. He should sign for the most absurd amount of money you'll ever see. Talanoa Hufanga is up for contract. Oh, boy. Hopefully he signs for this. He does. Very, very nice guy to take not a lowball deal or anything like that, but definitely. Okay, so both of these guys contract year, so we got to give them the bag. They stay around for sure. 1 year deal for Stephon Gilmore. Brandon Cooks has full interest. Yeah, 32. We'll keep him till then. 3.5, give him 6.5, give him quite a bit of money there as well. We're down to 57 mil. Osa Odigizua most likely will be our last signing. Give him a 4 mil or 4 year deal. Hopefully he signs on for about 7 mil a year. And then Kelvin Joseph, I'm fine. All these guys I'm fine getting rid of. Zach Martin, if he wants another 1 year deal, we've got the money to do so and also go out making a signing or 2 in free agency. So I'm fine with it as long as he's fine with it, as long as he plays and doesn't retire on us. I'll do scouting national focus, but I'll catch you guys in the playoffs. What did I tell you? Sometimes bad starts lead to good finishes. 12-5. Very, 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 very good compared to what we're used to seeing here. I would be so mad if DeAndre Gilmore does not have, or whatever that guy was, did not have superstar or superstar X Factor. We'll go see right now, defensively, if he is, okay, superstar X Factor. Well, we just drafted a very good defensive tackle in DeAndre Garrison. Oh my dear Lord. 21 years of age, still. Rookie, 6'4", 292. 90 power moves, 90 strength, 97 hit power. This guy is amazing. 79 speed. I'm so happy I traded up for him. Wearing the number 68 is kind of gross, though. Not gonna lie, that is not the prettiest thing to see. Damone Clark trying to develop there. Wormley got signed onto the team, I guess. Hopefully he was not playing edge, though. Okay, so yeah, Drew Sanders was still playing edge. I think I'll move him from that role if we can get another solidified edge player. To me, he's just not worth it at that spot. I think he could play a little bit better ball somewhere else on the team for sure. Let's go ahead and look at stats and awards. See what sort of season Dak Prescott on a contract season. 4,800 yards, 42 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Best season we've seen from him. Tony Pollard just over 1,000 yards, barely. Foreman was incredible behind him. Receiving, Brandon Cooks led the team for the second year straight. Looks really good with 16 touchdowns. Dominic Farrell, quite the rookie year. 978 yards, 10 touchdowns. Ferguson was incredible. Most receptions on the team, 961 yards, 4 touchdowns. CD Lamb, a little bit of an offseason for sure. Not what you want from him. Damone Clark, 135 tackles is really good. He's flying around for sure. TFL's Osa and Micah Parsons up there, pretty good. Micah with 8 sacks. DeAndre Garrison 7, 6.5 there. Sanders just not really working out at edge. Hufunga and Diggs both get 4 interceptions. Jeff Okuda, the new addition, with 3. Stephon Gilmore, the old addition, with 2. 1 for McKinley. Why is he playing Israel McConnell? No. Jabril Cox has 1. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and, I guess, move to see if we can get past our division rival in the playoffs. Very unlikely, actually. So, yeah, we lose 47-14. We couldn't have lost any worse, actually. And the one player we are targeting is Matthew Judon. Hopefully he signs. And if not, okay, so he did. Because I was going to say, and if not, we're going to be kind of struggling with getting a true edge. I mean, Jadeveon Clowney's still here. What do they have him at? That's not great, actually. What is his, okay, so there's his power and finesse moves. Not good, actually. So he's actually a bad player in the game of Madden. But luckily, we were able to get Mr. Matthew Judon, who should be significantly good for us, or significantly better for us than what we saw from Sanders. We're going to move him down to a true edge. He'll play off the edge at all times. We'll go to the draft. So I'm up towards the top here at our pick at number 23, and there's so many players that can be good, but that is not what you want. You want players that are good, but like all these ranges make it super hard to tell. Chris Boston, I mean, looks good. I mean, he's got, good upside, I guess. This will probably be my pick here if, I can't find anything else to really look at because, I mean, there really isn't anything else to look at. I seriously can't find like one player that, oh, this guy's the guy. Like, there's none of those. None. Zero. Nada. It's not a thing. It's just not there. It's just not there in this class. This guy, though, might be good. Jermaine Mills runs pretty fast there. C block shedding is not great. A awareness, B zone coverage, C tackling, C pursuit, A to C finesse and catching. Yeah, I'm not going to take my chances on a guy like that, but he has a chance to be good. But we'll just go ahead and get Chris Boston, the tackle, towards the top here. Hidden development with only 88 strength. Probably not the best. Doesn't matter. Jermaine Mills falls to us anyways, so we'll get Jermaine Mills. 87 speed. Okay. I like that. I like that in the middle of the field for us. Jermaine Mills. Didn't even have to think about it. Got there, saw he was on the board, took him. Okay, I like this guy. A lot of B's on the board, and then an A to C zone coverage. And then look at this athlete. Let's go Daryl McKay here. I know we just drafted a middle linebacker, but best player available type thing when you're in a good spot like this. I don't like any of the rest of the players in this draft. I get to the end of it, look at the draft recap. Draft recap. And yeah, Boston was actually 74. Jermaine Mills was a 70 and a 72 from Darrell McKay. So good players at the top of the board, I guess. Yeah, nothing else really to say about it. Farrell must have won like Rookie of the Year or something because he's superstar development now, so that's really helpful. Brandon Cooks up to superstar might delay his regression for a little bit. And yes, I still believe in Ferguson. So leave me alone. And then look at this guy. As a blocking tight end, he's a 74 overall. Boston, that's how good of an athlete he was. Judon will go down and play. We'll go put him in the left end spot for sure. I don't think that you don't mind that too much. Definitely want Drew Sanders to play over him. Yeah, go wear the number 9 as well. Go left end, and we'll get him off the other edge, opposite of Micah Parsons. Then we'll have Osa and Garrison, and then Judon off of one edge. And then Drew Sanders and Damone Clark will play the inside. Can we put Mills at left outside linebacker? I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? But I'm going to do it anyways. Just put it at left outside linebacker for no reason. Literally for no reason. I don't really have a reason behind this reasoning. Go left outside linebacker. There we go. So yeah, we've got a really solid unit. And I was considering actually moving him to right outside linebacker, so when Micah Parsons is off the edge, he'll play over there, in those sets. So I'm going to go ahead and make him a right outside linebacker. He's not going to come off the edge or anything like that. It's just simply to put him behind Micah Parsons. So when Micah Parsons is, playing off of the edge in this sort of set, it'll be Mills playing there instead. Same with Damone, same with Drew. So got a good system going here, it looks like. Sam Williams hasn't really developed into anything. Probably still could have used, someone else on the defensive line, but he's not playing anywhere anyways. Like, he's backing up Matthew Judon. He might get a sack or two this season, but won't really mean much. And then we'll have Sanders and Clark back in the inside again. And then Brandon Cooks will continue to play the slot for us, play wide receiver too. CeeDee Lamb will just keep doing his thing. And then Farrell will continue to develop behind those two. Offensive line is really good. Biedaz actually went up, so Watkins won't be taking that job. Patterson's developed quite nicely. Martin's last year kind of doing his thing. I would assume this is going to be his last year. Ferguson hasn't really developed either, but despite a really good season last season, go to the midseason. 4-3 to start the season isn't horrible, for sure. Aaron Rodgers is still throwing for a lot of yards. That's crazy. But Dak Prescott, 5th in the league in yards. 7 interceptions is a bit much. 14 touchdowns, quite nice. Pollard, setback for sure. Brandon Cooks is doing really well. Dominic Farrell, Jake Ferguson, and CeeDee Lamb, once again, is all the way down here. Really unfortunate, but Dominic Farrell is really making the best of his opportunities. Jalen Tolbert as well, but mostly Dominic Farrell, 2 touchdowns as well. Ferguson leads the team with 4. CeeDee Lamb leads the team with 5. You saw it. Whatever. I don't care. Damone Clark is doing pretty good. Drew Sanders as well. 2 TFLs for him. Trayvon Diggs also has 2 TFLs. Pretty interesting. But Matthew Judon, who we brought here to get some sacks, is not getting sacks. Also, Odigizua is, though. And DeAndre Garrison. But, Judon, 5 TFLs, 4 TFLs, 4, 3. 3 from Sam Williams, 2 for Drew Sanders. We already saw those. So, good stuff there. Interceptions. Stephon Gilmore has 3 as well. 1 for Sanders, Diggs, and McKay. So, good stuff we're seeing from the team. We start off 4-3. I think that we are ready to really put in a push. I was about to go ahead and just go right on into the playoffs here without even looking at our signings right here. Stephon Gilmore, another 1-year deal. He is getting cheap. It's exactly the offer he wanted. So hopefully get that one done. Get that one did. Tyler Smith is a good player. I want him long-term for sure, no matter how much we're spending on him. Damone Clark, same thing, but it sucks. Okay, he's actually at middle linebacker. I was thinking he was still an outside linebacker. I was going to have to pay him like one. Fortunately, that's not the case. Darren Bland, he's good. I mean, if he wants a 7-year deal and no money, works for me, bro. You can just be here for the long run. Jake Ferguson, same thing. I probably want him back. Sam Williams, probably want him back. Tolbert can walk. The rest of these guys can walk for sure. But do I want Matthew Judon back? Do I want Zach Martin back? Probably not. Depending on how Matt Judon ends the season, will kind of dictate that. But I'm sure in free agency there will be a good replacement or upgrade on someone like Matthew Judon. But go ahead and get to the playoffs. We barely make the playoffs, going 9-8. Not a good season from us at all. CeeDee Lamb upgraded now somehow. Must have had a season above 800 yards at least. Dak Prescott, second good season in a row. 40, almost 900 yards, 28 touchdowns and 19 interceptions. You want way better than that. Way better ratio. But Tony Pollard stepped down. Brandon Cooks is really good. CeeDee Lamb over 1,100 yards for the first time, I think, in this whole not mock draft. I need to straighten up here. Ferguson, another incredible season. En fuego! Up there doing good things. Dominic Farrell, same thing. Almost 4 receivers close to that century mark. It's pretty crazy. Led the team in touchdowns. Jake Ferguson, by the way. Damone Clark, 135 tackles with Drew Sanders right behind him with 106. 15 TFLs from Micah Parsons. And Matthew Judon, 3.5 sacks. He's not getting brought back. No way. 9.5 sacks from Osa Odigizua. 9 from Garrison. And 8.5 from Micah Parsons. Drop off to Keanu Benton, who's playing well in his limited opportunities. Maybe he should get a chance to go at left end here. It'd be quite interesting to watch. Stephon Gilmore had 4 INTs. Trayvon with 3. Damone Clark with 2. 1 Sanders, Kuda, Funga, and McKay, who we saw at the beginning of the year, the first half of the season. At least get that one. So, good start here. Let's see if we can beat the 85 overall 49ers. Oh, God! I ran over my toe, tried to play it off, lifted my leg, and hit my knee on the desk. Love life right now. It is great. We didn't beat the Niners. We lost by 3 points. Unfortunate. Moved to the offseason. Like I said, no more Matthew Judon. I don't think that we'll get that deal done with Mr. whatever his face is, Zach Martin either. So have to move someone on over into right guard, I think it is. So we're going to have to look at right guard. If not, we have someone on the line that can probably take that spot with all the rookies that we've drafted there. And then we're going to need a replacement edge rusher. So I have the chance to get, Kirby Joseph, which is one of my favorite safeties in the league. And I have Talanoa Hufanga, who's also one of my favorite safeties in the league. Isaiah Spiller and Carl Lawson. Should get them all, honestly. Kirby Joseph, Carl Lawson, and then Isaiah Spiller. Might take a few times around, but we get him. So Isaiah Spiller, Kirby Joseph, and Carl Lawson are all Cowgirls now. So we upgrade on Malik Hooker, and then Stephon Gilmore's down to an 80 overall. Jeff Okudah jumps him finally. Is Brandon Cook still here? He is, and he's still around an 81 overall. Ferguson finally up to that star development. So Boston here, he's not a tight end. He is literally, we drafted him as a left tackle. And yeah, that's quite interesting, actually. We got Isaiah Spiller as well to kind of take some of the snaps when Tony Pollard's a little winded. And then, yeah, defensively, Sanders up to Superstar X Factor for some reason. And Mills has Superstar. Really interesting stuff. I'm really excited about the safety group, though. Two of my favorite safeties in the league on my team. Carl Lawson to come off the edge now. Probably want to move him on over. Or we want to draft. Probably want to draft another edge, but it'll be Parsons, Lawson, and then these two up the inside. Again, Sanders, I don't know how he got Superstar X Factor, but I'll take it, I guess, right? I think you got to. But we're going to probably look to get a tight end in this draft. Tight end and, best player available, but obviously we're looking towards edge because it's not a need because no one's actually going to play there, but they might actually play some rotational snaps. So that's kind of what we're going to have to target. So I actually have my eye on a couple of players, and they're all in the first round. So I kind of have to just see which ones go off the board first. And so I'll kind of wait to see what kind of happens there. Christian Myers, luckily, goes off the board. Bass continues to fall. Parham. So we're actually getting pretty deep down the board without, the top guys that I like going off the board here. I just got to make sure one more person doesn't go off the board before I trade up, and that is Gio Wheaton. So what we're actually going to do, so there's this guy, his name is Starks. He's kind of a hit or miss prospect, but I think that he's more of a hit than miss. And then, actually, Donovan Foster, I didn't even take a look at either. He looks more like this could be interesting right here. This guy, 8 power moves. Okay, yeah, so Donovan Foster will actually be the one I trade up for. Trade with Tampa Bay, try to get a deal done. Done deal. Next year, 5th. This year, 2nd and 1st for 11 and 107 overall in this draft here. We are working on no money as well, so very close win now window. And so we're going to trade up for Donovan Foster. Washington State, 22 years of age, 6'6", 250, huge. Good speed off the edge. Should be really fun. Not a whole lot of strength, but don't really need him to win that way. And then I have someone I'm keeping an eye on. I'll let you guys know, though. Done deal. We're kind of just trading up for the shits and giggles at this point, but trading 28 predicted next year, 60 predicted next year, and then our 3rd round pick to move up to number 17 in this one. And we'll have to see what type of player Tyler Scott is. Tight end out of Auburn, 6'4", 235. He looks like a great athlete all around. Skills, looks incredible. Let's go Tyler Scott. Normal development is a bitch. That sucks. That really does suck. Go to the end of the draft, see what overall these guys are. Draft recap. What do we got here? Okay. Not good. Not good. 75 and a 72. 75 is good for Donovan Foster. At number 11, though, you probably want something a little bit better. And then Tyler Scott, I thought he'd be so much better. But can go in, slot in at that backup tight end spot. Pretty happy with that pick in general. Eventually can take over Jake Ferguson's spot, but I don't know, man. It's such a tough thing to gauge in this game, just with all the ranges and whatnot. I wish it was a little bit more clear, but I kind of like the hit or miss sort of deal. It can be fun in aspects, but definitely probably should change that system headed into Madden 24. Good news is Brandon Cooks is not retired yet. Same thing with, Stephon Gilmore definitely did retire. But we move Foster down to left end. He turns into a 76 overall. I do want to go take a full look at this guy right here for sure. 82 power moves, 84 speed, 88 acceleration. That is a lethal combination with 75 block shedding as well. This guy can actually be a true stud, all things considered. I can't wait to kind of see how he kind of translates. But we only have so long before Brandon Cooks retires as well. So we're going to try to get her done here. Go to midseason, see what sort of numbers we can put up. First, I got to make sure that everybody on the defensive line is straight, though. And this is how it should be right here. Start off 6-1. Really solid start to the season. But does it finish that way? Probably not, considering it is Madden. Good stuff all around here from our team. We just took our first loss, actually, to the Texans. Who is helping us to get to this point right here? Is it Dak Prescott? It is. 2,000 yards, 1,800 touchdowns. Oh, God. 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Really good start of the season there. Pollard doing pretty good, but Isaiah Spiller almost 4 per carry as well. He's also doing quite well. CeeDee Lamb leads the team in receiving for the first time I think I've seen. Dominic Farrell, Brandon Cooks, Jake Ferguson, Tony Pollard as well. Who leads in touchdowns is Dominic Farrell. Interesting. Defensively, Damone Clark and Drew Sanders obviously lead the team in tackles. Again, Micah Parsons, wow, what a first half of the season there. 9 TFLs, 8 sacks. 9 TFLs, 5 sacks for DeAndre Garrison. Osa doing his thing. Carl Lawson not really contributing either. So, I mean, we keep looking for that true edge rusher that we want and need. And unfortunately, no one seems to be really working out at the spot. Sure, they're a high overall, but no one seems to really be working out at the spot. I'm down for a 2-year deal, actually, with Brandon Cooks. I'll even overpay him to stay another year as well. Drew Sanders, now this is going to suck because we're going to be paying him like an edge rusher considering he's off the edge. So $12 million a year for someone that shouldn't be making $12 million a year. Jarrett Patterson, I want back, but he has no interest. Malik Hooker can walk. Keanu Benton can walk. Yeah, Keanu Benton is a great player, right? But he can walk. Zach Martin, we have the cap space to do so. But do I finally want to move on from him and be able to upgrade other positions, or do I want to handcuff myself another year? I think that will end up just moving on from Zach Martin. As tough as it is, it's just going to have to end up happening. 13-4, we have the first round bye. Oh my goodness, what a season from us. I was like, oh God, did we not make it? Because I saw this screen. But yeah, we definitely made it. So pretty fun. Jermaine Mills has a new ability. Our linebacker that we drafted a few years back. Mac Jones was second in the league in passing. But Dak Prescott was fourth and first in touchdowns, by the way. Best season we've seen from Dak Prescott maybe ever. Tony Pollard was not that great. Isaiah Spiller was pretty good, though. Receiving, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, Dominic Farrell, and Jake Ferguson hit the century mark exactly. Oh my God, what a season. CeeDee Lamb, 1230. Brandon Cooks basically 1340. Dominic Farrell over 1,000. Jake Ferguson just at 1,000. 2-digit touchdowns for 3 of the 4 guys. Dominic Farrell was just 2 touchdowns behind. Pollard still got 8 per touch. Tyler Scott was pretty efficient when he got it. I mean, we just saw a great season from this offense. Defensively, though, what did we see? I see 12 sacks from Micah Parsons, but 114 tackles from Damone Clark, 93 from Drew Sanders. TFLs to go around. Osa Odighizuwa was 19. Garrison was 16. Parsons with 11. Carl Lawson with 8 with 4 sacks. Not great, but Micah Parsons led the team with 12 sacks. Osa with 9. DeAndre Garrison with 7.5. And Donovan Foster with 5. Maybe we found our true edge rusher now. Maybe he can move in for where Carl Lawson was playing. Maybe he can kind of give some juice to this team. Trayvon Diggs had 4 INTs. Damone Clark with 3. 3 from Hooker playing in the slot corner. Talanoa Hufanga, 1 for Sanders, Okuda, and Bland. Really, really phenomenal season from our guys. We ended up going 13-4, making that first round bye. But can we make it deeper into the playoffs than we ever have before? Do we have a chance at the Super Bowl here this year? In my opinion, yes, we do. But we have a very tough team, the New York Giants, standing right in front of us. We have to get through them before we can get anywhere else. With 3 more wins than them in the regular season, we lose by 4 points. So I don't really know what to tell you guys. I think Cowgirls are just not a postseason team. I don't know. They just can't seem to win in these Madden, whatever you want to call them. These Madden The simulations. Somehow we have Jair Brown. I'm not quite sure how that happened. We're not signing back Zach Martin. So headed into free agency with a few more needs than usual. Now imagine this. Keon White. Imagine we can get Keon White here. Obviously, I don't think it's in the the stars for us. We have $22 million to deal. What are these quarterback classes? Deshaun Watson, Max Duggan. Oh my goodness, this is funny. Kendre Miller is here. Interesting. Wide receiver, Rondale, Elijah Calvin, Jaden Reed at this point. Traylon Burks is pretty good. Tank Dell. Keyshawn Boutte would be quite fun. Now this is tempting. Nolan Smith here at this point. That is very tempting. I need to know like what this man's did in his career. Can we look at stats and contracts? We can. I want to see how he produces in Madden. 15 and 17 TFLs is crazy. Looks like he was actually playing off the edge in Tennessee as well. So not quite the sack production, but can stop the run we saw in these 2 years right here. No interceptions, so I mean it is a little interesting. No whatever. I don't know. It's tough. I don't think I'll take Nolan Smith. I think that I want the guy that we drafted last year to play for us. Jacorian Bennett is a 84 overall. That's quite funny. Like I said, we have no more Stephon Gilmore, Charvarius Wards here, so still some veterans kind of floating around. Whatever is happening. But so we have Hufanga, and then we should have Kirby Joseph on the other side. So we're good at safety. And then I think that means our only offer will be we don't even have a single offer on the board right now. Maybe we could just bring back Zach Martin then. 1-year deal, 8, 6. I'm fine with that. And Zach Martin didn't like the idea, though. Goes to the Niners instead of coming to us. So we'll take that. We'll take that as a shot in the back there for sure. Chase Brown, though, is here. Isaiah Spiller's our next best back. Pollard is 30. Do we want Chase Brown, though? I don't know. I think we'll just pass on everything. I think we'll just move on, save our money for next year. If there is a next year, we'll have to see. But offense is definitely going to take a hit. And Jake Ferguson's up to superstar development along with Farrell, who's been there, but just up 4 overalls all of a sudden with morale. But Brandon Cooks as well, just still sitting superstar, sitting pretty in 3rd. And then defensively, I mean, I don't know what else we can do here. Osa up to superstar development as well. And then Foster I want on the other side of Parsons. So I actually want Foster off of the other edge. We'll see how that works out with Osa and Garrison in the middle. And then Mills and Clark will take the sub linebacker spot. And then Drew Sanders will basically do nothing. As mean as that is, I mean, he just is a role player. He can move around wherever, but he's not supposed to be in any of those like bona fide roles or anything like that. We could use actually a corner number 2, like a legit corner 2. But yeah, we're gonna give Foster the kid off the edge, or an opportunity off the edge, and see how he can do there. Solid offense still. Fix the offensive line with some of the draft picks that we had kind of floating around, meaning they're going to be on contract years here soon, if not this year. So headed into this draft, we don't have much in the beginning because we traded away our 1st and 2nd from this draft. So I'll just go ahead and look at the board. If there is anything like insane, might consider it, but I doubt it. I think that we'll just get right through this one. No problem. And you guys will never guess, this class is full of good players. Full of great players, if you will. Oh my goodness. It's so annoying. Dude, we trade down 1 year because we've had the worst draft classes ever. And they're not so good down the board, but there are some that you definitely like. Oh my god, this guy looks good too. There are some great players at the top of the board as well, like even at 20 or something like that. Unfortunate. I'm not going to try to trade up. I mean, I'll see what we have on roster to see if we can or like are in a position to make a trade. But personally, to me, there's just no way. So there was no one on roster that we could really trade away other than Tony Pollard, but I'm just not comfortable with the backups that we have there. This guy looks really good for the pick. Kevin with a Y and 2 N's for some reason. Strength could use some work. He looks like an okay athlete. Sure, let's take him. Looks like I said, okay. Decent athlete, 6'5", got good size, not great strength, but that'll do it for me. I don't even think it's worth looking at draft recap, but I'm sure we'll still do it. I lied, he sucked, but we got Pinkney at In the 4th round, we got 73 overall receiver out of Clemson. So, yeah. Whoa. I'm thinking about it, and what if we did have Drew Sanders off the edge? What is his, like, finesse moves are up to an 84 with 73 power moves. Block shedding, probably I would like to be a little bit higher if we're going to play him off the edge, just so he could get to the run if we needed to. He is a little bit light for the position. He doesn't struggle with size. I mean, he's, I think, 6'5 or so. So, got a bigger profile, but 6'6", 250. I mean, 85 power moves, 78 block shedding, playing up with morale, of course. But I think that is more of a bona fide edge player. So we'll go ahead and move Foster up, see what he can do a year in the starting role. Parsons, Foster off the edges, Garrison and Osa Odigizua up the middle. And then we'll finally see Mills and Clark in the interior. And then Cooks will still play that slot role, even though despite being in number 3, wide receiver number 3. So we probably won't see as much production from him, but we'll still see quite a bit if I had to guess. 3 and 4, not the beginning that we're looking for, but like I've said before, good or bad starts can lead to good finishes. There's happy endings. Dak Prescott, 2,100 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Rushing, Tony Pollard looking good, but not quite the production I want out of him. He hasn't really quite hit that mark since, the first 2 years of the rebuild. Farrell, Cooks, and Ferguson's actually producing pretty well, all things considered. Talanoa Hufanga leads the team in tackles. Damone Clark and... who the hell is this guy? Where is my super suit? What is Jermaine Mills doing down here? I'm so confused. We have 9 TFLs with Osa Odigizua at the top. Garrison with 5, but 6.5 sacks makes up for it. Talanoa Hufanga, whatever. All this good stuff. 6.5 sacks from Garrison, 2.5 from Parsons. Osa Odigizua, Drew Sanders with the 1.5, Carl Lawson with 1, Wooten with 1. What is happening with our team? I don't even know half of these players that are putting up numbers. I need to make sure everything is good, and then I need to, negotiate with some players. Got to do a lot, actually. Upgrading here, we'll go up, just with all the other guys that are to go up. Adjust the lineup. Got to make sure everyone is chilling in their spot, which I don't feel like is happening. But yeah, see what happened here. Why is this a thing? Everything is off. And why are you playing in the slot? Who retired? Bland can go play in the slot. I have no issue with that. Oh my god, this is such a shit show. Madden needs to fix their stuff. This is so annoying. So yeah, it'll be Foster on one half, or for the second half of the season. I need to put someone in slot corner, and then we'll get some deals done. And this is why you save your money, ladies and gents. We have the best defensive tackle in football, pretty much, to sign back. And he's got a lot of interest, and we have a lot of interest back. So he will sign on, and we're left with not too much money. But luckily, we've got, very different signings. Matt Watkins, I want back. Biadish can walk, or Biadaz can walk. Dominic Farrell, I want back, but I'm down to kind of do that last, if that makes sense. But I want Matt Watkins first. Give him a 6-year, $2 million deal. This is pretty much virtually nothing. And then, I guess we can try to get a deal done with Farrell. I want 5 years. Is it possible to drop that and put that up? It is. So that is a thing. And then we'll have $9.5 million to replace center and right end. So not that good. We can get one of those in the draft for sure, considering we actually have a first-round pick this year. But tough things happen when you are low on money. So we're not quite handcuffed, but we're getting to that point. Let's go to the playoffs, see what we can do. Finish 11-6. We're into the playoffs, barely. 3rd in our division. We're still in the playoffs. It's crazy. Dak Prescott, another very, very good season. 5 interceptions only. Best season from him in a minute, I think. Could be. Spiller was fine. Pollard was pretty good, though. 13 touchdowns for both of them, though. Receiving, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Dominic Farrell, Jake Ferguson, all over 1,000 yards. Really, really good season. Ferguson with the most receptions on the team is just wild to me. Defense, Talanoa Hufanga over 100. Damone Clark was quite good. 7 TFLs. Trayvon Diggs, whatever, all that good stuff. Osa Odigizua, 15 TFLs. DeAndre Garrison at 13 TFLs, 8 for Micah. Drew Sanders had 8. Damone and Foster. who actually had 3 sacks in one half of a season. So I like that. It's good. I don't even know who Eric Wooten is. Osa Odigizua had 5.5 sacks. Micah with 9, and DeAndre Garrison with 9.5. So good for all these players. We're doing well. Hopefully Brandon Cooks doesn't retire on us, but I have to imagine if we lose, he'll be on the verge. So headed into the wild card, and we actually win a playoff game. But now we're against a very tough Giants team that we've seen in this playoffs before, that we've seen in the division round before too. So see if we can get our redemption on them. We got a 91 defense, and they've got an 89 offense. We match up well. We win. We are into the NFC Conference Championship. Let's see what sort of things we can do here. If we get into the Super Bowl, I'll actually jump in for that one, but I want to make it simulationally. San Francisco, we're up against them. We lose 24-7. So unfortunate. Hopefully, we'll see if Brandon Cooks retires. Hopefully he doesn't. All right, I know this is cutting it a little short. Brandon Cooks is still a thing, but it's been too long. We've gone to the NFC Championship. That's the best it seems we could do. We're missing a center, so I mean, it's all things that we can solve and move on from. But let's be realistic here. We got basically one more season, and been recording for a while now, so that'll probably be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Consider liking and subscribing. That will be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. Yeah, especially if you watched all the way to now. That surprises the hell out of me.